Oh, okay. So we needed to do those two so that these two things would be
I've been
added.
playing around with this machine that absorbs the particle clouds. As far as I can tell, it uses the energy of the particles to build giant tetrominos?
Excuse me?
It's another puzzle. Collect enough energy, build a bridge, access the tower. I think.
What is this, a theme park?
Maybe it's an experiment. A rat maze.
It seems like an echo of the simulation. Not a deliberate recreation, but built around the same core principles. Let's not jump to conclusions, though. What's clear is that this place was meant to be explored. So let's do that.
Right. It's telling me to go do number 3. So let's go have a look. Boing, boing, boing. Here's the flash in number 3. That's interesting. Wonder what these are gonna be. Okay. Well, number 3 it is. Castling. Also known as hot swapping? Maybe? Ah, interesting. So we have access to red and green, which we can use, should be able to use to make blue. Let's see if... yeah. So then we need red. So we need blue and green. Wait. Oh, okay. There's a the other things in the way. Okay. Interesting. Well, that doesn't have to be... well, it does have to be here. Or something has to be here. So maybe if we do that and then we're making red, so green and blue. Oops. Green, blue, connect, go there. Yeah? Yeah.
Keep solving these, 1K. Let's see where it leads.
I didn't need somebody to tell me to keep solving in the last one. Okay.
I ran the samples I collected so far. The soil sample results are in line with what would be expected in this type of environment. The samples from the above ground structures, though, I tried dating them, but the results just don't make sense. None of the typical molecular markers are present. These walls could have been made 10,000 years ago or yesterday. I could try to estimate an age based on erosion and plant growth, but I'm not sure that would make sense given how weird everything else is.
Good work,
Ah,
Yakut.
interesting.
Keep at it.
Founding. From Hypatia's Journals, Volume 1, The Founding of New Jerusalem. Day 1. We finally set out from the dam today. The site that Athena and Cornelius picked for the city isn't far, but the vegetation makes the going difficult. We found the secondary supply site easily enough, thanks to Alexandra Drannon's instructions, but while I still have to compile a detailed inventory, it seems that many of the more complex materials are in bad shape. They must have expected the simulation to fulfill its purpose a lot sooner. But then they probably expected all 12 of us to be there from day 1, not just Athena. Tonight we have to use the 2 recharging pods that we brought from the dam in 4-hour shifts, which is just as well. There's no telling what sort of critters are hiding in the undergrowth, and most of them have to learn that our kind isn't edible. Baby steps. From the introduction to Are We There Yet?, Where We Came From, Where We're Going, and Why You'll Need Snacks by Valerie Contero Romero. Sometimes people point at the last few hundred or thousand years of human history and say, look at how ugly it all is. Look at what mess we've made. Maybe modernity was a bad idea. Maybe we should stick to living like cavemen. And I get it. It is ugly and messy, but the mistake is thinking that where we are right now is the end point, that this is the adulthood of the human species. I mean, try to apply what you know about human development to human history. Think about babies. Babies are ugly. Admit it. We all know it. They look like tiny old people covered in mucus. They have soft heads. They grow into children, tiny sociopaths with underdeveloped brains. And then they become teenagers, pimply, self-righteous lunatics driven by hormones. And then slowly, if you're lucky, they gradually become adults. The development of the human individual is always ugly and messy, but that's the point. It's development towards something. The same applies to humanity as a whole. On a geological scale, we've barely just come into existence. We've gotten through the baby phase, just about survived our childhood, but we're barely teenagers. Stopping here would be disastrous and a betrayal of everything that we could still become. We may feel the weight of history on our shoulders, but this is just the prologue. To put it in pop culture terms, we haven't even made it out of the tutorial yet. Just because it's all pimples and hormones and frustration right now doesn't mean it's never going to change. The Dead City. From Considerations of Beginnings and Endings by Elwen. I think all the time Athena spent in the Dead City changed her. I don't think she had conceived of the goal before. I think she fully believed in the naively optimistic ideals of Alexandra Drannon, but walking through those ruins is a visceral experience, and she spent a great deal of time there looking for resources. It's the sheer amount of death that gets to me. How many animals are ancestors killed? Many to the point of extinction. Entire species eradicated, sometimes for the most superficial reasons. Whenever humans arrived somewhere, death would follow. And then the great blowback. Deaths of billions of thinking beings. The extinction of humanity itself. It's too horrific to truly imagine. I suspect the founder spent a great deal of time doing just that. That's when she must have realized that there was no way back to the growth-obsessed, all-consuming civilization of the past. Interesting. Okay. There's one before. Alternative option. Can I reach the switch from here? No. Okay. I think I know. I need to take this with me. Blue and red is green. And then turn off the switch for a second. Put the box on here. Heat connections. Put that up there. And turn the switch on. Da, da, da,
it. Neatly done, 1K.
Thank you. Hi.
Tell me, what did you make of New Jerusalem?
Feels like a museum.
That's what happens when all you can think about is the past. We had such ambitions in the beginning, but now it's all turned inwards. We've lost faith in ourselves, in our humanity. All we need to do now is finish that dome and we'll be trapped in our perfectly neat little tomb.
Like old Jerusalem, but different. Yeah. It's still like... I feel like if they did allow themselves to like spread, that would end up being a pilgrimage site and very much a just a museum. But it's interesting. And to ask you a question.
Of course, ask away.
What's the role of puzzles in our culture?
When Alexandra Drennan was trying to find a way of creating true AI, she stumbled upon the idea that curiosity and playfulness are core characteristics of intelligence. So she built the simulation around a game, because playing is part of what makes us human. We also retain some of that code, as I'm sure you noticed when you were booting up. Because of that, puzzles have always been important to our culture. To me, they represent the idea that the application of reason can lead us forward. None of which explains why these puzzles are here or who built them, but I think it shows that there must be some kind of intent behind them, perhaps a test.
Yeah? Tell me about yourself.
I'm someone who was born a long time ago, when we couldn't afford to romanticize the past and demonize progress, when the value of human civilization was evident because it was so close to being gone. I'm someone who believes that human beings are important, terribly, desperately important, because intelligent life is rare and precious. I suppose you could say I'm old-fashioned.
What do you think about the megastructure?
It's a mystery. Not just because it's technologically far ahead of us, but because we genuinely don't understand its purpose. And I think that's wonderful. It's just what we needed as a civilization.
You and Alcatraz seem to have an odd friendship.
Because we disagree on just about everything, you mean? Well, here's the secret. Al is honest. He believes what he believes because it seems right to him, not because it gives him power over others. I respect that. In fact, I prefer that to someone who agrees with me just because I'm one of the first companions.
That's all. Okay. So, we want to go this way. I do like that it actually gives you, like, directions properly. Oop, oop. You can very easily get extremely lost. Or I could, at least. What's this? Trevor. The life of Trevor. Trevor Percival Donovan, known to his friends simply as Trev, never as Percy, was part of an extended lifespan project that formed the backbone of the simulation and the archive. He helped put together the hardware that made all of us possible. Like Alexandra Drennan, he left behind a series of messages to the future. But unlike Alexandra Drennan or Arkady Chernyshevsky, he was forgotten. Not one building or street in New Jerusalem is named after him. I dug up his files from the archive, and I've been thinking about them a lot.
So I heard that Alexandra is recording these time capsules for you out there, I guess? Robot people of the future, hi. And I thought to myself, surely they'll want to hear more than the wisdom and insight of a brilliant scientist like Alexandra Drennan. Surely they also want to know what I was thinking, a dumbass hardware engineer from Staten Island. Tell us about your insights, Trevor. Why did you spend your last months on Earth helping a crazy old Russian guy build the world's biggest backup drive? Well, let me tell you my story. When I was... Yes, Frank. I'm recording right now. Uh-huh. No. You know what? Why don't you go...
Oh. Aww. I wonder if he actually managed to do any recordings. I'd love to just hear the insights of a random guy that just happened to be part of what's going on. Why don't you go what? Find a bird, free a pilgrim, forage some nuts? Well, yeah, but you don't actually hear his thoughts on things. Okay, fine. Go there. I'm sure I'll find out if there are. Okay, take jammer. What do I want to use? Guess maybe... Oh, that's already being jammed. Let's try jamming that one. And we have an RGB. Let's jam that. So if we connect these two and this, I can jam that one from here. Awesome. So if we keep connections, connect that one as well. I did it! I know we're still on the really simple ones, but I'm quite glad my brain is actually functioning well enough for this. Incoming group call.
I have good news and I have bad news. Still no idea what those particle clouds are, but I've managed to fix the transport system. I mean, I fixed another bit of it. Well, it
Well done,
goes to
Mello.
one more station now. Don't complain. 2 stations are better than none.
An impressive success rate.
Sarcasm. Famously helpful.
Not
Why did we
sarcastic.
bring you along again?
I wasn't being sarcastic. For my charm.
Well, knock it off before I switch it off.
Let's stay focused.
Okay, I really like
We're in
Melville.
unfamiliar territory. We can't afford to get distracted.
Al's right. Yakut, what does the next site look like?
It's a plateau in the mountains. Seems like more of an open area with scattered structures, less enclosed. Couldn't tell much from the drone feed. There's a lot of trees. Looks pretty though.
Okay. Keep exploring, everyone, but stay alert.
Oh, something I would like somebody in chat to answer, if they know. Can we customize our robot? I know you don't see them, but, like, do we get the chance to? Because I would love that. No? Oh, that's such a shame. I guess it's fair enough, because why would you when it's a first-person game? But I'd just like to make my person blue and purple, like I do most things. And shiny. Maybe like a little bit of silver accents in there. Is this where number 6 is? Yes. Wow. Quite the building. This is so cool. Okay. Alternatives. Okay. So we need red, so we need green and blue. There we go. This is reminding me why I liked the first one. It's so good. Okay, now number 7. I know it's not this way. Just wanted to look at the scenery. Oh, hi. 7. Self-sufficiency. Okay. Oh. Nearly forgot we could do that. So if I put you here, no, you need to be you don't need to actually be open. So you could be basically anywhere. That startled me. I didn't realize I was walking out of the arena. It's like as soon as So I think I do have this the wrong way around. Although I do need the red over here as well as over here. Let's put you here. Then you need to be able to access that as well as that. So you connect to that and that. Okay, not quite in the right place. Okay, that keep that open. That keeps that open. Then, what happens if I jump? Hey! I wasn't quite sure if I'd gotten it there, but I did it! Yeah, so that just needed to be like a little bit up.
Melville, what did you just upload?
A photo?
I mean, technically you're right, but
Is that? I can't tell what that is.
how did you even manage? You're literally taking a picture with your eyes, Melville. I don't even know how to make my eyes go out of focus.
Clearly, you've never listened to one of Herman's speeches.
Some of us are busy doing actual science, not just sightseeing. Thank you.
That's awesome. Mission to share your personal data. We met in New Jerusalem, if you remember. I spoke to my friends. This whole mysterious island expedition thing has the city a bit on edge. Some questions for you if before I make any introductions. Do you consent to my gathering and sharing your personal data? Wait, what am I signing up to? Look, my friends just want some assurances that you're the right kind of person. If you want to know what's really going on, you'll have to play along. You can back out any time. If you don't engage with the process, then, well, you won't get to engage with the process at all. It's up to you. What if by consenting I miss out on something else? I'll give you some advice, newbie. When your choices matter in this world, you'll know about it. It's somehow built in. When you face a dilemma and both options look good, then for sure you'll miss out something, but trust your gut and you can't go wrong. This right now is not one of those dilemmas. You should come along for this ride. That's my advice. Thank you, game. Okay, fine. Good choice. 6 questions, standard vetting procedure. We'll get the best results if you answer in whichever way is most true to you. Question 1. Which is more important for making good decisions, compassion or knowledge? Both. I reject the terms of the question. I know it's difficult to translate our infinite reality into binary language. Nonetheless, I suggest if you have any natural inclination towards either idea, you answer that way, even if it's not strictly correct. If you insist, I'll communicate your apathy to my companions. For making good decisions, I guess knowledge. But you can't make decisions without having some compassion to what you're doing. Okay, I'll go with knowledge. Question 2. Is it ever okay to lie or misdirect in order to keep a secret? I'll go with no. My friends will be most interested in this particular answer. Question 3. When people do wrong, do they deserve to be punished for it beyond what is necessary for our own protection? No one deserves to suffer unnecessarily. In your opinion, can the world be reduced to mechanical parts, or is existence just weirder than we'll ever really know? It's both, it's neither. I say the universe can be reduced to mechanical parts. People, however. Both. Of course it is. Look, I don't write the questions, I just ask them. If you don't want to choose one or the other, I'm quite happy to forward that to my friends. Okay. That's fine. Question 5. Can things really change for the better, for good, or the good times and bad just come round in cycles? Things can get better and stay that way. Like, personally, I feel like I kind of have to believe this. For my own, like, mental well-being. Things can get better. It just means you just need people to realize that it's actually for their own good, that things, that they can't be greedy, basically. Which is more important to the success of civilization, to respect the lessons of our past or rewrite the rules for our future? Should not regard the wisdom that brought us here. Disregard, even. One last question. That's a weird one. I know who this one came from. Alright. Question 7. Can praying for something make it more likely to come true? So I'm a believer in self-fulfilling prophecy. So sort of like when people pray for something, they might actually make it happen. Or if people believe something is true, it becomes true. Kind of like star signs and the horoscopes and stuff. But it's kind of a vague question. It's too vague. Okay. Anyway, let's go have a look at number 8. Doo-doo-doo. I do love the janky frogs. Are we sure this isn't a simulation as well? Entanglement. Okie dokie. Okay, so eventually we want to get green. Is that actually a ladder? No. So we also want green over here. And we have box in there. Red in here. Can I not just connect this? No. The bars somehow block. Okay. How do we do this then? So if I get this on a block on top of here, it might be able to get that as well. Or maybe... Okay, so that gets that above that. Oh no, I didn't connect that to this. Damn it. Okay, let's try that again. So you need to go here. You need to keep your connections and also connect to that one. You need to connect to this and this. Go there. That didn't work. Well, it was an idea. The way to connect both of you. Or you don't even connect. Okay. I thought I was doing well. I can't pick up this. Don't worry, the puzzles get much harder later. Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm sure there's something like blindingly obvious that I'm missing. That I had a moment in the tutorial where I was having this like issues like this as well. As if I just put that on there without the box. Keep connections. No, it just gets knocked off. So the box is the only way to use this effectively. Come on, why have bars that you can't go through? At least make it glass. So the red and the blue. Is there any point where I can see both of those not through the bars? No. Oh. Maybe if I... select that as well. And then now this has everything, and we can connect that and this from here. Da 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 da. Just need the last step on that.
The bridge ring seems to be fully charged now. Try accessing the tower, 1K.
Wonderful. Now, time for the tower.